If you're ever feeling cold, just go sit in the corner. They're usually 90 degrees. What's going on, YouTube? It is the weekend, which means we're in the Hollow City, inside of Cold Harbor, outside the plane of existence, to go over our first of two weekend vendors. Now, I actually do these as a blind react, fun fact. So I open the vendor as the recording is rolling. So it was a little bit jarring to see an upside down rabbit carcass, because I'm like, what am I looking at while I do my introduction? So the reason we talk about these items is for a couple reasons. Notably, you may want to be able to purchase and resell these or put them in your own home. Now, this week is actually a bit special because it includes some really exclusive items. For example, this stall I actually have in my own home, and when I purchased it, I had to pay around 50 to 60,000 gold for it. So you can see that some of these items do have a profit. And while I'm a huge fan of the skeleton, 200k probably eats away the profits you would make on console, but on PC, I could still see this being a bit of a winner when it comes to making a profit. Overall, though, 4k for a gigantic skull that you can throw in your trophy room, as well as some unidentified bones to put in, one of your unidentified bone rooms, as we all have, and 15k for a nice little trophy, head mount. But keep in mind, you can get a lot of them from the base game. This week is certainly interesting and has some unique items that you may want to put in your home, or you may want to try to resell. Notably, the best one to resell this week is the Fargrave Stall Bone Merchant. And we are now at our second vendor for the weekend, which is unfortunately our final one. Zos, please, just one more vendor. We need it. Unfortunately, all the new vendors seem to go on the Tuesday weekly vendor, which I guess is kind of nice because it gives you a full week to do it. But we are inside of our Northern High Rock Gate inside of Cyrodiil, because you can actually buy these items with Alliance points or gold. Now, before we jump into this, please hit the like and subscribe button. And now, let's talk about what's in this vendor. We actually start with a bit of a banger, and by banger, I mean post-traumatic stress that I had, because the Medusa set used to be the bee's knees. This used to be the set that everybody wanted, but the sticker book didn't exist, so you would just get every other set except the one you needed, because you needed a fire staff or lightning staff, and you would just never get it, ever. Now, thankfully, this set is not really utilized anymore, and obviously to Ark's Cornium, where it comes from, base game dungeon, is still easy to farm. It was just really annoying before you got a guaranteed drop. You were basically opening chests like, please, ZeniMax, and then it took everything out of me to get that set many moons ago. But thankfully, it's like a 7 out of 10 set. Getting Minor Force is good for solo content. But now you can also get it through scribing content. So, I mean, yes, it's a good set in the sense that it's a good buff, gives you tons of crit, which is good. But it doesn't see that same home for PvE content that it used to. It's not great anymore. It's not fantastic. It's not a staple. And it used to be those things. So it's dropped many key levels, and I don't really see it getting better. This is a thing that it's stock. You're going to want to short the stock on the Medusa set. Now, a set that you don't need to short because it's already been garbage its whole lifetime is Morias. Now, it gives you health, armor, max stam recovery, and when you roll dodge through an enemy, you deal 2791 physical damage and you knock them down for 3 seconds. You might think to yourself, okay, Jake, you're the sets guy. What are some utilizations that I can use for this set? I don't know. When is it combatively intelligent to roll dodge through your enemy? I've used this set on my Green Goblin character. It's not convenient. This may shock you, but it's actually more convenient to like attack your enemy with attacking skills versus trying to like angle yourself and roll dodge through them. It's significantly easier to just press like the X button and just attack them. So the Mariah set from the Gold Coast is just it's something. I would give it a 5. Like, it's an average. I would even say this is a 4. You would have a better PvP outlook if you just wore a random set. If you rolled the dice right now and you pulled a random set, blah, 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 think of a random set. Think of a random zone right now. Blah, 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 oh, the Rift. I guarantee you the sets from the Rift are probably better than this set right here. That's why this is a 4. That's why we have the below the 5 system. Next up is the Salvation set from Malbator. Now this set's interesting because it's called the Salvation set, but it's focused around werewolves. I promise you, your salvation is not becoming a furry, because it's 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Not even going to make you a decent werewolf. Stam recovery, max stam. Reduce the cost of your werewolf transformation by 33%. While in werewolf form, your weapon and spell damage is increased by 150. Whoop-de-freaking-do. You would be better off wearing almost 150 weapon and spell damage. You could get that basically through an enchantment. A 5-piece set bonus. Reducing the cost of your werewolf abilities transformation is not helpful, because you can just keep your uptime with your werewolf very consistently by just using your attacks. Now, many years ago, maybe this was a little bit better, but in today's day and age, just wear something else. I mean, yeah, sure, for a werewolf, maybe this is like a 6.5. You know, it's above average. That's just because you're getting an unnamed 150 weapon and spell damage buff, and the 2, 3, and 4 is at least lukewarmly working in the direction that a werewolf might want to go. But yeah, no, don't use this set. That's probably too generous. This is probably like a 6.0 or a 5.9. Next up is from Spindle Clutch. Very hard place to go. You get stam recovery, weapon and spell. Reduce the cost of your undaunted abilities by 10%. When an ally uses one of your undaunted ability synergies, you restore 730 magicka and stamina, but it can only occur once every 5 seconds. So you can see lots of problems here. One, reduce the cost of your ultimate ability, or your undaunted ability, not ultimate, undaunted abilities by 10%. Not helpful, realistically. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. You're not going to be getting a lot of value for that. Secondly, 730 magicka and stamina recovery over 5 seconds is hot garbage. That's the equivalent of like 200 magicka or stamina recovery. So if something just gave you 200 recovery for those things, you're getting about equal value. And if a set did that for a 5-piece, you'd be like, that's garbage. So this, all that to say, this is garbage. This is a 3. I don't know what the best utilization for this is. It's not a sustain set, not a PvP set, not a PvE set. We are using the numbers. I don't even have like a 1 through 4 category. I just you know that 1 through 4 is bad. So I couldn't tell you how bad it is, but it's probably between like a 3 to a 3.5 in the bad category. We're below average. 5 is average. We have dug below. Next up is Bogdan from Elden Hollow 2, not Eden Hollow, which I casually say all the time. Gives you 1-piece magicka and 2-piece when you heal yourself or an ally. You have a 20% chance to summon a totem for 6 seconds that heals you and your allies within 5 meters for 33 healing every 1 second. This effect can occur every 10 seconds. Important to note, though, healers have a lot of options, and generally healers really don't need to put a lot of effort into keeping you alive. Generally, healers are putting more emphasis on making you kill things quicker, because then you can skip mechanics that would hurt you, or you just get done faster, and then by killing the things faster, they can't hurt you because they're dead, you know? So a lot of things going on here. So usually you don't need a whole lot of healing output these days. All of that to say, though, it's a shoulders. Maybe you want to own it, because nobody wants to roll the 1 undaunted keys on, you know, the MAJ guy. You know, he has the worst one. So if you don't have this one and you're a support character, maybe you pick it up just to say, yes, I have it, in case there's a trial or a specific dungeon that warrants it, because it is a good support set, but it's not a key support set. It's one that most people who are just heavy in the support realm will own, just in case there's a niche scenario where it comes up. So maybe this is like a 7.5. Yes, you may want to own it if you're a support character, but 99% of us are just going to look at this and go, oh, okay. Next up is Lord Warden. This one comes from Imperial City Prison. Adds armor, and when you take damage, you have 50% chance to summon a shadowy orb for 10 seconds. It increases your physical and spell resistance of you and your group by 3069 within 8 meters. This can occur once every 10 seconds. This is another one of those sets that support characters should own, but oftentimes won't use. And it's very hard to recommend sets like this, because there will be niche scenarios where somebody will be like, we need somebody to put on Lord Warden, right? So in that sense, is it a good set? Does having a scenario where it needs to be used make it good? Maybe yes. Some people would say no. Some people would say if it's too narrow in scope, it's not helpful. That's up to you to decide. I'm going to give it an 8.0, mostly because you can also use stacks like this, buffs like this, ball groups, coordinated groups for PvP, giving people free buffs just for wearing a shitty two-piece and being able to stack other buffs on it. It's really not a set that the 99% of the ESO player base needs. But if you are like Jake, I love support, I love tanking, I love healing, I love having these things, then yeah, I would consider purchasing it just to own it, especially if you got a bunch of alliance points. I've got tens of millions of alliance points. Sometimes I just buy these just to go, yep, got the shoulders, don't have to waste my undaunted keys, you know, in case I need to roll my undaunted keys for something specific. So in that scenario, I'll probably buy these, but I would suggest that the average ESO player who's lower on the alliance points, lower on the undaunted, keys scale, and usually is probably in the PvP or PvE range of DPS, these are easy skips for you. But everyone, let me know what you thought in the comments below. I mean, this was a week. This was a golden vendor. One of the most comedically bad weeks I've ever reviewed for the golden vendor, which is good because I think it's funny when sets are horrible because it takes a lot to be bad. Like it's different when something is just better. It's comedic when things just like don't have any utilization because there's so many things that sets can be used for, right? There's PvE, which has solo, trials, 4-man content. You know, there's PvP, you know, there's even tanking, healing, DPS. There's PvP dueling, there's PvP stealth builds, there's PvP tanky builds, there's PvP battlegrounds, there's PvP ball groups, there's PvP solo, there's PvP 1vx builds. Like, to not have like anything that you're like lukewarmly going in the direction of, it's just impressive, really. So thank you guys so much again for watching. As always, we're doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you need to do to enter is leave a comment and like on the video / as many videos as you want for the month of March. Second thing is just make sure you're subscribed. We are so close. I think we're like 120 subs away from almost hitting the 29K mark. And the third thing is look for a hidden word be flashed upon screen. If you're the first person to find and comment that word, you will win. Also, we do our giveaways too during our Twitch live stream, so check me out tomorrow, and I'll catch you guys there. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.